Ladies and gentlemen, you are on live with the TDA Post Game Show, post Iron Bowl show. Alabama has defeated Auburn 49-27 as they finish their regular season, defeating their rival. Crazy game. Man, there's a lot we can talk about. There's a lot of negative we can talk about, but we need to talk about the positive. We won the Iron Bowl. And that kind of makes up for a lot of negative we've seen this year. Yeah, it's been a very frustrating year. We did not meet all of our goals that we had coming in. However, we finished strong, come away with an Iron Bowl victory. And hey, there may even be an outside shot that we get in the playoff, but some things need to happen tonight. Welcome in, sir. What is going on? Roll Tide. Mike, you with us? Mike, you with us, brother? Can you hear me? Mike cannot hear me. Can you hear me now? We're doing a commercial for Verizon Wireless.
There we go. Boom.
All
What's
right.
going on,
We're
man?
in, man. Roll Tide. Hey, there's a lot of things we can talk about. Probably caught our eye in a negative way, but the fact remains we got a victory in the Iron Bowl, the most important victory of the regular season. And hey, we're champs of Alabama.
That's right. For another year.
For another year. A lot of bragging rights. But listen, that defense, they tried their best to try to make this a game. And
you talking about Auburn or you talking about Alabama's defense?
Well, Alabama's defense. I mean, Auburn to me was running virtually the same 3 or 4 plays, and we just had no answer for him. At one point, I think Toa was running away from Robbie Ashford whenever he could do that quarterback draw. I don't know if you saw that, but sure looks like that way to me.
I can tell you one thing. That kid, Robbie Ashford, he's a big kid, man. I was fortunate enough to see him play in high school. He's about 6'3", man, about 225, 230. He all man now. But yeah, I know Hugging, what y'all call him, Hugging Henry. I know he wasn't looking for that. He gonna wrap up. He's a grappler, man.
But yeah, Robbie Ashford, played his tail off. Auburn played their tail off, as we thought they would coming into this game. They were willing to give their left kidney to win for Cadillac, and you had no doubt that they were going to give that same effort today. And hey, for a minute there, it looked like they were going to creep back into this thing, but we managed to hold them at bay for a little bit. But yeah, I was getting a little nervous. I don't know about you.
Well, man, I know people give me a lot of flack for it, but I look forward to the close games, man. I hate blowouts. I like to be intrigued. Like man. I like to be intrigued. I like to, it's chess. It's the art of war. It's competitive on both sides. And but like you said, I'm glad the Tide got a win tonight. I can tell, man, Ja'Cory Brooks is going to be phenomenal. That kid is going to be something special, man. He's electric.
I just need him to be more consistent with his catching sometime. I need him to be a little more aggressive with his catching.
It's coming, man. He a baby, man. It's coming.
He's a sophomore, but
How much did he play last year? Did he play a ton last year?
Well, didn't really start seeing significant time, I think, until the later part of the season. Of course, we know the Iron Bowl and then in the playoffs. But he did make some key plays during the season, like against Texas A&M. He had that block punt for a touchdown. But other than that, yeah, basically had about 3 meaningful games coming into the season.
I'd be surprised if he's not he's going to be a top receiver by his senior year. He's going to be electric, man. I still see a lot of inconsistency within the receiver room, Ram. It's not, you never know who's going to be in there, man. I mean, you got a lot of guns in there, man. You got to put the right shooters in there. I think Bill O'Brien was a little bit more creative today. Thank God.
He was in that first half. I was seeing some things that we hadn't seen before, and it was actually refreshing. Got some new faces in there. Robbie Oots got more involved in the game. Great to see a tight end involved in a different way other than just how we have been seeing Cameron Latu used as of late. And then Kendrick Law came up big today in some key plays.
Yes.
Hey, the wide receivers, though, in the first half, got to give them credit. They came up big.
And I give credit because we ran the ball, too.
Yeah.
Jeez, God, dog, finally. But I'm proud of the way they overall played as far as the offense is concerned. Not too many mistakes, man. Not too many errors. But I'm like you said, I think there was a well-balanced for offense today. Now, defense, I still think we got some holes to fill, some gaps to fill. Inconsistent far as effort, and I think it's like lackluster sometimes, man. It's like guys out there catching butterflies, man, just lost.
It seems that way because I didn't feel like there was any kind of adjustments being made. And how do you not adjust to the same 3 or 4 plays being called? I don't understand how your boy Ashford is able to just rip off long runs just whenever he wanted to.
Right up the middle. I mean,
then you got the Wildcat springing for long yards, and then you got reverses, just basic stuff we did back in middle school, and we couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, that's Bama's issue. A mobile quarterback in a spread offense. You got a mobile quarterback. If you had Johnny Manziel back there, that caliber that can run and throw. Oh Lord, we have been in a world of trouble, man. Or a Cam Newton type. This time next year, like a developed Ashford who can throw you as well as run on you. That's going to be dangerous, man. So I think Coach Saban need to be scheming on, like I said, what we've been talking about. Some real aggressive linebackers, man. You got to bring back the Rolandos, them big dogs, man. Not these little lap dogs you got out there.
What we need to do is bring people back in with the right mindset. One thing I did see brought back this week was the green mouthpieces.
Oh my God! Again,
not and hanging out their mouth. And Bo was there, and he was pissed. And they didn't let Trent or Courtney Upshaw on the field either.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Bo texted me in the middle of the game. He said, "Yeah, they wouldn't let us on the field."
Well, they ain't in the league no more. There you go. They ain't in the league. They ain't in the NFL no more. That's hey, welcome to your post career. Welcome to being.
Oh, come on, man! Y'all still a royalty, I mean, you can't do y'all like that.
No, man, come on, man. It's been like that, man. It's all about what have you done for me lately at Alabama. Y'all know that, man. That ain't nothing new. That is nothing new. You're not suiting up for Sunday. You're not standing on the sideline. I can promise you that.
Man, I don't know, man. Those are some guys that did their thing, bro. I think that they deserve a little bit, especially in the Iron Bowl.
Oh, bro, I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just calling the facts. That's just, bro. It's a story time. I remember they called me to come down and speak to Alabama, and I was like, "Well, man, okay, well, cool. Well, in order for me to come, I just, I need 2 tickets for me and my wife and I to come down."
Yeah,
bro. That was like, we can't get you 2 tickets. Hold on, time out.
Can't get you 2 tickets.
You want me to speak and talk about how good this Alabama school is and what I did, my experience and post experience, and I can't get 2 tickets to a game, and y'all recruit some of the kids that I got, and I play.
Oh, bro. Wow.
I said, I love you, but you can miss me with that.
I would let another one of your guys go over there after that crap.
Man, I'm telling you, man, you second-class citizen over there, man. You ain't former players, man.
Apparently so. Department for me, for I never knew you. Jeez.
Yeah, real talk, man. That's not the first time. I'm not the only one. I'm sure several guys, but that's why, again, you hear a lot of guys voicing their frustration. Again, I mean, we talk about former guys being in there. Guys like you tell me no one time, I'm not going to beg you to come and do. I'm not going to go where I'm not wanted, and I don't go where I'm just tolerated either. I want to go where I'm celebrated.
Absolutely. And what you guys did, you should be celebrated. That's ridiculous, and kind of explains why things are going the way they are. So kind of par for the course, right?
Yeah. It feeds into to the mess that's going on. But far as that goes, man, that's funny. You like how embarrassing. Think about you being embarrassed as well. Yo, I'm gonna walk on the sideline. I'm gonna catch y'all at the game. Hey man, you can't get in on the sideline. What?
Man, treating you like you were, like you said, second class citizen.
That's right. Get in the back of the line, man. Go pay
Right,
for it.
Right. Regina Stanberry has a comment here. I don't believe Michigan can beat Alabama. I don't know. After seeing what they did today, and they did that without Blake Corum, that was damn impressive. And seeing how our defense can't stop anything, that'd be a hard sell for me. I mean, I'm still waiting for that Bama button to come on. You know, if we get the chance to do it, man, just based on the resume from this year, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be honestly, man, that'll be a game I would love to see, man. Because the fans will sell out for that game on both. They travel well, we travel well. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I think that'll be a head-to-head matchup right there. But I think Bama would edge them just
maybe. It just kind of depends.
Maybe.
I tell you one thing though, if we do go against them, for us to even have a chance, we're going to have to get rid of the undisciplined penalties and being in the wrong positions, things like that. The little things that kill us, like the 12 men on the field towards the end there. After a timeout. What I'm
talking about, like, what if that was a meaningful play for real? You know what I'm saying? Like, what if that was? Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
So, speaking of that game, Michigan, Ohio State, what happens now if chaos does indeed happen? TCU loses next week. LSU, of course, goes down as expected. USC loses to Notre Dame tonight. Where does that put Alabama? Does Ohio State get back in if those teams lose, or does Alabama jump over them? I don't know.
I would say Bama would have to jump over them and I keep people.
Well, does Ohio State have a top 10 win this year?
I don't know.
That would be kind of the deciding factor because Alabama doesn't have a top 10 win.
Dang,
now, granted, the losses we did have were combined 4 points, whereas Ohio State got skull drug at home today.
Yeah, but we haven't just beat the brakes off nobody either.
No, we haven't. I mean, and they're not going to count Utah States and Louisiana Monroe and people like that. So, and the fact that we struggled against Texas A&M that has only won 3 games this year and barely beat UMass.
Yeah, I think Bama would get in, man. And the reason I say it, man, people just tune in when Bama watches, man. And it's about those ratings at the end of the day. It's at the end of the day. Everybody, Coach Saban has, again, started a culture shift, man. That's foolish mess Jerry Jones did. Alabama's America's team. I'm going to say that.
I'm going to tell you the truth, man. Them boys haven't been America's team in quite some time.
Yeah, we're gonna claim that title. So I think everybody knows, man, if Bama has any, they said Ohio State beat top 10 Penn State.
Top 10 Penn State, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Penn State be sorry too, man. They like Notre Dame. They never live up to the hype, man. They haven't been good for real since the 80s, man.
Yeah, you're right on that. All right, before I get to the calls, and I know a lot of people want to talk tonight because it's the Iron Bowl. I'm going to go over some stats. Bryce Young finished out his regular season with 20 of 30 for 343 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then one ill-advised throw that was kind of controversial. He still shouldn't have thrown it, but I don't think that the defender actually caught the ball, but they ruled in his favor. Jahmyr Gibbs has 17 carries for 76 yards and a touchdown. And Jermaine Burton, hey, he actually showed up these last few games. 3 receptions for 87 yards. No touchdowns, but you got Ja'Cory Brooks, 4 for 76 and a big touchdown. They kind of took the momentum in our favor there in the first half.
I'm trying to figure out why they don't have Holden
And Holden had one too. He.
Oh my God! Why are y'all not playing these boys? Who damn writing these plays up, man?
I think it's a bunch of 5-year-olds in the back with a coloring book.
Bro, that's what irks me is because you really got about 8 receivers over there that you can draw up plays for specifically. And if you got Holmes, Brooks, Law, or even Prentice, who else am I leaving out?
You got Isaiah Bond.
I mean, bro, you got all these receivers. Like, those are mismatched guys. We dumb. Like, bro,
we saw no jet sweeps either today.
Man, we running a remedial offense, bro. We running a remedial offense. Like, bro, that is ridiculous. You got those caliber players and you not executing, bro. We should really be putting up at least 62 points a game.
Oh, easy.
48 at the minimum. 48
easy.
At the minimum.
Well, I don't think these guys have bought into Bill O'Brien, but the positive here is Bill O'Brien may be gone now.
I pray, man. Lord,
word on the street is he's Georgia Tech's guy.
Hey, Bob, go get that money, man.
Get that money.
Go get out the SEC, man. Go get the ACC money, man.
Matter of fact,
we confrontational over here.
So that being said, if we get somebody with enough sense like Garrett Riley and any of the other guys that are being mentioned right now, he gets his hands on these wide receivers, especially Riley. Look at what he's doing at TCU. My Lord, we finally going to start seeing these guys go off. Get that 4 horsemen thing back that we have been missing for about 2-3 years now.
Right.
Let's go start getting some people in here, guys. I want to remind you, first of all, you won't be able to hear Mike. So state your name, where you're calling from, and talk to us about, what's on your mind. Then hang up and listen so you can hear Mike's replies. Also, let's try to keep our call. It's a little bit short because we're going to have a lot of people calling in tonight. I want to make sure that we're able to get everybody in. So let's go ahead and let some folks in. Welcome to the TDA Post Game Show. You're on live with Justin and Mike. Who we got on the line? What you want to talk about? You there, caller? Well, it looks like we have lost the call. And goes another one. Welcome in live to the TDA Post Game Show with Justin and Mike. Who we have on this line and what you want to talk about? Oh, hey, Roll Tide.
Can't hear Smoot.
Did we cover? I thought. Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. I thought we were a couple like a point or so short. Oh, we lost the call, and for some reason we can't hear the caller. So Coach Smook, if you would please call back. We had some technical issues. We're going to try this again. Let me see what we can do. All right, Coach Smook, we got you again, brother. Can you hear? No. For some reason, folks are not hearing anything. We're going to figure this out somehow, folks. People in the chat, can you let me know if you can hear Coach Smook? I can hear him loud and clear on my end, but Mike can't hear him, and I'm gonna make sure somebody can other than me. Let's see.
We can hear him from a distance. Can't hear him close.
Let's
sounds like he's far away.
We're going to try this again. I do apologize, but wow, I'll get that working. What was the last thing that we were talking about, Mike? I kind of got derailed there for a second. But out of this receiving group, besides Ja'Cory Brooks, who do you see as showing the most promise coming into 2023?
I don't know, man, because I mean, we'll see a kid have one phenomenal catch and we don't see or hear from him again. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I'm like, are these guys in the doghouse? Like, why are these guys? Even Roydell Williams, like, why, bruh? If this kid was at any other school, he would be getting at least 15 to 20 touches a game.
Right. I agree completely. But then again, we have the wonderful Bill O'Brien, who is on his way out.
Oh my God. I mean, you got all again, man. We talk about it's just like having too much talent and not knowing what to do with it, man. Like, bro.
Well, people like Lane Kiffin and Steve Sarkisian, and our boy at Maryland had no problem finding places for people and how to utilize their talents. But for some reason, when Bill O'Brien's pulling the trigger, he just forgets everything he's doing. But like I said,
I think even guys like Sarkisian, I think he's a better coordinator than a head coach, man. I think they are so eager to drive. Everybody wants to be in the driver's seat, but I'm just like, bro, you at Bama, you getting paid a lot of money to just, eventually you can go on. I think everybody like, bro, you're gonna be a coordinator besides Bill O'Brien. Most of them are the ones he bring in, bro. You need to be here at least 4 to 5 years.
I agree.
I think because it's just too much turnover. It's too fast.
Right. All right, folks, let's try it again. Let's get some calls in here. Let's see if this will work. We're gonna make it happen one way or another. I mean, like I said, this is the Iron Bowl. We need to celebrate for the people who keep us here and keep this channel doing what it does. And hey, we just beat Auburn, so I know there's some people in here that want to talk about it. Yeah, Isaiah Bond, Eric Owens is going to be great. We just need to find somebody who's going to get him on the field. That guy has way too much speed and too much wiggle to just be sitting on the bench and getting maybe 1-2 catches per game. That's just not right. We're not making the full use of what we got there. And if we can't utilize our guys, these 2023 recruits and these 2024 recruits, which have some notable receivers, may think twice about coming to Alabama. So that's one of the things
I would.
Well, that's one of the things I've been thinking about here as of late. If for some unforeseen reason, Bill O'Brien stays, we're looking at guys like Richard Young and Justice Haynes and possibly the wide receivers in this class looking elsewhere. And it's a harsh reality.
Without question, either a coach, we always say a coach is going to do two things. He's going to either build on you or destroy you. And I mean, you got a terrible coach, man. Your career is in his hands of it. You're putting your hands in the hands of a terrible coach. And that's an easy fix without coming. So I know Georgia doing everything they can in their power to tell him and try to persuade and lay out the royal red carpet for these guys, man. I mean, they staff like they glued. They got that gorilla glue, man.
Mm-hmm. So let's kind of start talking about, I guess, postseason. Of course, if we go in the playoffs, this is a question that we don't even have to answer. But if we don't make it to the playoffs, which is a very big reality, and we're going to New Year's 6, have we seen the last of Bryce, Will, and possibly Jahmyr Gibbs? Do they play in the postseason or for their draft stock? Do they sit this one out? And
those two, those three, I think Gibbs. I think all three of them will play. Honestly, because I mean, those are your leaders and your captains. Now, if they didn't play, I I don't think they would be wrong, but I don't think those guys are cut like that. I don't think they're prima donnas to the point where, because it's hard to go against those three guys. They show up. You give them an opportunity, they're gonna make the most of it. So I don't think those guys have the diva effect. I don't know them personally. I don't drink beer with them, so I can't tell you. But I would say I know this is their last year. I know all three of them are gone. I think Branch is probably going too. I heard he's
That's an interesting statement there. I kind of think that Brian Branch kind of needs one more year of polish to up his draft stock. I think if he leaves now, of course he'll be drafted, but I think that it's more so towards the later rounds. I think he needs to come back and kind of fine tune his craft and possibly work his way into the first or second round. I think he has
honestly
ability.
I heard he was a first rounder.
Really?
From a good source.
Wow. I mean, I'm not denying the man's talent. I think he's, one of the most pivotal guys in the defense who doesn't get talked about as much as Will and Dallas. But I feel like he might need one more year. But then again,
I hope he stay. I hope he stay.
Is it like a borderline first round, second round, or is it like a definitive first round?
They say if he's the one top 3 safeties off the board.
It's not Mel Kiper because you can't trust him.
No, I'm about to trust him. This is from a reliable scout, NFL scout. Say, hey, man, we'll take this guy first round. So, yeah, I would be surprised if he didn't stay a year. I think he's a special talent. But again, that's like the stock market. I heard it, but you can't bank on anything like that because again, it's availability. It's a team's needs, but far as capability, they look at potential. And he's a young cat. Like I know those juniors, when they still got 2 years left on that and they young, you 19, 20, and you really haven't even touched your full potential, they're gonna give you a shot. Come on, we can develop you into what we want you to be.
And to this, let's look at the other factor. It's all about flavor of the week. Who was the hottest guy coming into the 3-week out mark from the draft? People start getting fixated on things, and people start getting boosted probably a little bit more higher than they should be. And then you also got the combine warriors, the guys who really don't have much on a resume perspective, but they come into the combine, they show out, they get that 4.2, 4.3 40 time, they get that 40-inch vertical leap, and all of a sudden everybody thinks that they're the second coming of whatever position player it is, only to find out year 2, year 3, they're back in the same position again, trying to draft that same need.
Without question. I mean, now it sucks for guys like who make it late in the playoffs or the guys who play New Year's because the combine, bro, like, again, it's in late February. You don't have time to prepare. Your team's sorry, and you're a decent player, bro, you done in December. You got 3 months of training. And people don't understand those cycles and breaking down things. An extra 1 or extra 2 weeks is an extra $1 million in your pocket. You know what I'm saying? So when you're running that 40, that's all these coaches worried about. And that's which is a bad thing because I think you can't really adjust an assessment off anybody's value based on what they run. And when I turn on the film, what does it say? And I think that's the issue what we run into. But I guess to wrap that up, I think all 4 of those guys are gonna probably be gone next year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. I think that they've done their thing, and we should applaud their effort. And hey, they ended their career in dramatic fashion. And hey, if they play in the New Year's Six Bowl or possibly the playoff, I'm all for that. And hopefully they do something that we remember in a positive way. But going in, I was really kind of questioning where our want to was. Were we going to have that pride? Because one of the biggest things that we've talked about all year, is the fact that we've had a lot to play for. We've had the national title, we've had the SEC hopes, but it didn't seem like it was all that important. So I was on the line of thinking that if we can't get up for those things, will we get up for Auburn? And to a lot of these guys that are on the team right now, they weren't born and raised in Alabama. They don't understand what all this means. But in Auburn, they got a lot of guys who did grow up around it, who do understand what it means and who are willing to bleed and die for it. So I was kind of up in the air as far as what direction these guys were going to go. So I ask you, did they answer the bell? Did they
did
have that pride? I know offensively, I feel like we did. I feel like we did. The defense is kind of up in the air, but I'll let you, jump on that.
Well, I was nervous before the game too, just as far as the energy that Cadillac has brought into the organization. They are stupid. Now I hope they gives him a fair opportunity to be a head coach, but I doubt it because they're idiots. But he had a lot of guys around here who really understand football, the emotions. You can't put a speed monitor on that. You can't put science on that type of stuff. Just pure grit and dialed in. And he had those guys dialed in. He had those guys ready to war. Like you said, they are willing to die for a coach like that. He's a player's coach. He's been where they're trying to go. And he was great at it while he was at Auburn, and he had a great NFL career. And so all those guys bought in. But I just attribute this season, man, really, I don't ever think there's a such thing as a perfect season. Some things are going to click on all cylinders. But I think this is a time for Coach Saban to really make some adjustments, man. Are you the businessman, like you say, like we claim you to be? Are you the guru? Are you the greatest college coach of all times? Because if you are, you got to make some tough decisions, man. You know
absolutely.
What I'm saying? So you got to shake up some things. You got to get back old school. You got to get away from the anxiety talk, that soft talk, that feminine talk. You got to man up.
Absolutely.
So I think that's what he'll do. I think he's a great general. I feel like he has a kind of a militant background, and hopefully these grandkids ain't softening him up too bad.
That's a big if. But hey, we got the folks in here back again. We're going to try to let them in. I'm hoping that you can hear them, Mike. I'm hoping everybody in the chat can hear them. Let's try it one more time, Coach Smoot. We appreciate your perseverance here, fighting through all this adversity. What you want to talk about, man? And let's hope it works this time. We're all right. We couldn't hear him. Let's try another caller. Welcome into the show. You're on live with Justin and Mike. Hopefully your audio works. Who do we have online? What you want to talk about? Roll Tide to you, bro. For some reason, we cannot hear anybody. I don't know what's going on, man. Let's try this again. If you would, call back. Mike, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, Mike. I guess cancel culture has gotten to our phone line, so I'm going to try this again. See what we can do, but they just don't want us to be great tonight. Anyway. All right, well, let's get to some chats here. Let's see. Well, I don't think that we got a lot of Best Buy folks here trying to help us out, but DPOS 869 and Rick's is definitely a first round talent, but he needs to figure out where and how much money he wants to make. If he wants that top 10 money, he should return. If he wants that low first, second round money, yes. But to be honest with you, I think he needs to come back. I mean, he just has what 2.5 games on his resume for this year. I don't think that's enough to show, but then again, these GMs base a lot of their decisions off of, like we said, pro day, the combine, and potential, not so much what they see on film. So
he fits the mold, man. He's long, he's lanky,
I get
he's
that,
explosive guy, man. I think he's gonna leave. I think guys like that, they like rock star, man. I went to the LSU, saw what I did. You saw what I did when I did them couple games. So if he gets the right agent, man, he for sure first rounder. Definitely like what my man is speaking of. But I'm with you. I think he needs another year under his belt to polish up and have a complete full season. And I think a little bit more discipline to help him out. I know you probably don't want to hear that, but
no,
I think because I wasn't hearing that. So I think that'll benefit him and get him that top 10 money that he's looking for.
I got you. All right. Well, as we kind of figure this stuff out, on that defense, I know we gave up a lot tonight. Henry To'oTo'o did his usual, but Jaheim Otis to me showed up. He balled out when he wasn't being held. I felt like we could have seen a little bit more from Dallas Turner. But as far as Kool-Aid and Eli, I felt like they held their own tonight and allowed us to do a lot more. They actually did. They covered up a lot of mistakes.
Well, I don't think they had to, I don't think that they were threatened by the passing game as, most time it was kind of rainy towards the end of the game. So, again, I think they just got to hold the edge, man, just stay in the way, But I'm with you. I'm wondering, what did they work on in practice, these DNs? Because all I see is bull rushes. I don't see none of this stuff that they be doing on Instagram. They go to these private trainers. They be doing all these damn spin.
And what do their private trainers work on? Because
man, I don't know.
I've not seen any of it translated to on the field at all. Supposedly these guys improved in so many facets of their game, but yet it didn't translate at all. Is it the coaching that kind of watered down what they were learning? Or was it the trainers? Where's the disconnect? Is it not having a guy like Sal Sinceri as an on-field coach?
I think that, and they got some good cameramen. We're going to speed this up, or we're going to put it in slow motion. We're going to make it look. It's going to look like a cinema. It's going to look like a Tarantino film. That's what it looks like, because they spend 98% of doing shit. They're going to do 2% of the game. And I had enough of it. All I see is bull rushing and lower the shoulder. I don't see no stunts. I don't see no hand slapping. I don't see nothing versatile. It's just like, golly, man. Like, you just running like a bodybuilder. You just pushing them down. Can you shake them or something? Can you give them a nice 2-piece? But I don't know, man. I don't know.
All right, I'm trying my best to make this a reality here for some folks.
I feel sorry for you over there on that computer, man.
I'm getting no help.
No assistance. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry on that end.
I want fans to be a part of this. I want them to feel like this is their show. So if y'all would call in one more time, I think I got it figured out now. So give me another shot. Hey, I'm doing my best to include you. It shows you my my dedication to all of y'all. All right, here we go.
Please work. Please work.
And hey, this is out of Mississippi too.
Okay, there we go.
You're on live with Justin and Mike for the TDA Post Game Show. If you would, tell us who you are, where you calling from, what you want to talk about. And I'm praying our audio works now, but go ahead.
Oh, hello.
Yes, sir. We got you live. We're finally rolling. Who we have on the line? What you want to talk about? Of course, the Iron Bowl, but what's on your mind?
Oh, this is Marquise from Vicksburg, Mississippi. I just wanted to talk about, the Iron Bowl. It was a great win. It's great to see Bryce, go out on a high note. Can't go out no better. I still have a lot of questions with that receiving core, man. It still looks like they were confused out there a lot of times. Bryce still was holding on to the ball a lot. And it's like they still jogging on routes. And, of course, you question if Bill O'Brien is still, trying to work through the kinks all season. That seems like what he's been doing all season, just trying to work through the playbook. But I want to see the receivers step up more. If we get to a New Year's Six bowl, I want to see those receivers step up much more.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This is the perfect time for them to shine. And if Bill O'Brien does, in fact, leave, will he coach the bowl game, or will we have someone else making those calls? But I think that we definitely need to utilize that young, talented room and put them on full display in the New Year's Six. And, like I said, by remote chance, Lord, please hear a prayer, we get into the playoff.
Yeah, man. I also, I love the way the defense played today. They played with a lot of fire today. They looked a lot upbeat today, even though they missed a lot of tackles.
A lot.
They really looked fired up for them seniors. they were fired up, and I like their intensity.
I got you.
Starting off in the front, they look very, very good, in my opinion. Yeah, but that's all I got.
All right, man. We appreciate the call, brother. Roll Tide.
For sure. Roll Tide.
All right. Hey, success, Mike. We got somebody in. While we're on a roll, let's see if it'll work again. You are on live TDA Post Game Show with Justin and Mike. If you would, tell us who you are, where you're calling from, what you want to talk about, and then if you would, hang up and listen so you can hear what Mike has to say.
Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, what you want to talk about.
You're on live.
Yeah, you're talking. Yeah, this is Mike from Kentucky, man.
What's going on, Mike? Roll Tide, sir.
Yeah, I reckon. Well, it looks like maybe one piece done fell into place, but I don't know who else has got to lose. USC and TCU.
Yeah,
kind of
TCU will have to lose, and they actually have a decent opponent next week in the Big 12 championship. I believe it's going to be Kansas State, so that's a possibility. LSU has to lose to Georgia. USC needs to lose to Notre Dame tonight, or possibly in the Pac-12 championship. Clemson's already out of the way, so we just kind of need them to do their job. We finished our part, and that was getting the Iron Bowl victory. But, we need some chaos, and we kind of wondering, where's Ohio State going to fit in? Mike and I were talking earlier. Will they still get in, or we move ahead of them?
And we won pretty impressively today. I didn't even catch that score. I was busy working the Ohio-Michigan game. Was it close?
No. They skull-drug Ohio State.
They got thumped? Well, that'll help then. Since they got thumped pretty good, that'll help. There's been a couple things that's been in the press that, I hear talking heads on TV talking about some Alabama football players, regardless if we go to maybe not regardless, but if we don't make the championship, like they were talking like some players might opt out of the bowl game. Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever heard of an Alabama player opting out of a bowl game. I'd hate to be the first guy to be known for that. What do you think?
Well, we've actually only had one former player that has in the history of, I guess, the playoff era, and that was Terrell Lewis. But other than that,
I forgot about him.
I
couldn't remember anybody that ever done that. That don't say, that ain't Alabama football. We ain't known for that.
No, and we've had guys that are going to see it through, and they're going to put team ahead of anything else. But in this new age of athlete, man, where, it's about protect your investment. I don't like it, but I get it, especially these guys who are projected for top 10.
I think there's one thing that's been learned this year. Money can sure mess up your chemistry if you ain't careful.
Absolutely.
You said something there.
That happened to Tennessee, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna let somebody else talk.
All right, man. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate you.
It's a long shot, but I'm holding out hope. If we can get in it, we can make a run. We're known for that.
Yes, sir.
Roll dadgum tide,
Roll
fellas.
tide.
Roll tide, brother.
All right, things are flowing now, but one guy who is definitely flowing is Matt Caddell. Roll tide, Matt.
Roll tide.
What's up?
Can y'all hear me?
We always seem to catch you in the car, man. What you doing, man? You on the move? Are you running from something? What's going on?
I was at the game and watching the tide roll. They made me so nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? But had to fight the rain and pack up, but I'm here now. But Todd got the victory. So RTR, good to see Mike, Justin, glad to be back on.
Yeah, and hey, you celebrate.
I'm at a little house party. I'm in the basement.
He's at another house party. We got him kicked out. But you were there live, man. What was the energy like? Did you get, how close were you to the sideline? Did you get a kind of a feel of where the guys' minds and hearts were in this game?
Well, it's crazy atmosphere, packed everywhere. I was, as expected, the Iron Bowl. The rain held off. I saw a lot of energy, chippiness on the sideline, which was, glad to see in the Iron Bowl. I got a little nervous. Didn't know if these guys cared that much, but for them to get chippy with the Auburn fans, that showed a lot for me. I thought I know it sounds crazy, but I thought Bill O'Brien called a good game. We were running the ball effective, mixing it up, but defensively, man, I don't know why we don't put a spy on the quarterback when all they're going to run is quarterback draw. I mean, I hate to be critical, but I don't know. But it starts with our line. We're trying to run the San Francisco 49ers cover 2 defense, but San Francisco 49ers have Fred Warner, an elite linebacker, and Greenlaw, 2 elite linebackers. And our linebackers, I think Lawson is really good, but here he told you, he gets blocked every play. He's out of position every play. So we've got to address that, especially if we want to sneak in the playoffs.
And not only was he out of the play, he ran from play sometimes. There was a couple of times
I don't know,
where Ashford broke free and he wanted no parts of that. And he was running from the end zone like Forrest Gump.
He blocking for him.
It's like he blocking for him. He gets blocked. I mean, it was a drive in the third quarter. Like the last 10 points they scored, it was all because 10 was out of place on every play. Like he's either getting blocked, not getting off the block, going to make a play. It's just very frustrating. So we got to get that ironed out. Because the defense is good, but we got to have somebody in the middle that can, see the play, go make the play, get off the block, and don't get blocked.
I think he'll be a better Sam linebacker than the inside linebacker.
I do too. I say we put him on the outside and go Lawson, Moody, kind of mix that up, or Campbell or whoever. Somebody just put him on the outside. I think that will help out our defense a lot.
I think he fits in like in a 4-3-5 type of defense.
Yeah.
I don't think this defense suits him. He has to go play in the Pac-12 or something, man.
I agree. I think he's a fit for Dancing with the Stars. Because
two-hand touch. I'm like, man,
two-hand touch, something, man.
I mean, all thing they were doing, wherever he was going, he would get blocked, and that was spring the play every time. So very frustrating, but hey, we got the win. It's the Iron Bowl. I'll take a win. We knew Auburn was going to.
Tell me about the receiving core. I've heard a little bit from Mike, man. First half, they balled out. We've been asking all year for them to show up. And in my mind, they did. I think that had a lot to do with, like you said, Bill O'Brien actually scheming to the talent level of the receivers, putting them in positions to actually do something. And good Lord, it actually worked.
Yeah, it actually worked. I heard this thing too. I don't know how true it is, but I heard there might have been some controversy between Bryce and Bill O'Brien and Bryce. Maybe Bryce was changing the calls, and maybe there's some frustrations, but it seemed like they got it ironed out this game, and the offense looked a lot more fluid. I think Bryce was calling the plays. We weren't waiting to snap the ball down to the end of the time clock. So I think we've ironed out some issues offensively, which is a good sign, but if Alabama gets into the playoff, Alabama is one team I do not want to, play on a neutral site.
Do you feel we turn on that Bama button? Is this
when they got more to play for? I think if they got something to play for, and these boys are going to continue, I think they'll turn it around. I think they had.
I think so too.
I think you chalk up them 2 losses, but if they get in them playoffs, they're gonna have to see Georgia. They're gonna, I don't know if we're gonna win, but we'll make it to that. We'll make it to that championship.
I think we match up well against Georgia when we have the guys to do it. However, if we can't scheme ourselves out of it, that's where it lies.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have to.
Yeah, I agree. You know what? Everybody's going to look at the tape and look at only thing Auburn was doing was run the Jaden Daniels LSU offense, which is quarterback draw, nothing's open, run the ball, play it off by a middle linebacker. And yet Pete Golden has not put a stop. He finally put a spy towards the end, and we started making plays. But, you got to start making those adjustments earlier because obviously they were – but still, though, man, I don't know. We've still got a lot of improvement, so – hopefully we get everything rolling.
All right. So before you got on, Matt, we had some serious technical difficulties with the calls, and it was crazy. But we got it working again. So I'm going to start bringing some more people back on. And I remind everybody, you won't be able to hear Mike or Matt. So if you would, stay what you want to talk about, hop off so you can listen and hear expert advice. You don't want to hear me. So let's go ahead and bring some people in. And for the 3rd time tonight, we finally have Coach Smook in. Coach, we appreciate the effort, sir. Talk to us.
Man, look, Matt and you guys have really just covered everything. And I just wanted
to come
on and come on.
Oh, we can't. Oh.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, don't do that, man. I was about to say. But I just wanted to come on and brag a little bit, man, because as you know, I did my little game thing. And, bro, like everything that the
Bryce
thing as far as scheme and everything, like
Bryce Young
could not have been Bill O'Brien up there. Bryce! That was not Bill O'Brien. I said it so many times. I said somebody next to Bill O'Brien might be calling plays, or Bryce is just finally taking control and making a choice that he's not going to lose his last game at Bryant-Denny. That's what it looked like tonight. It looked like Bryce had full control of that team. And even the bad pass that he made, I believe Bryce knew he was supposed to freaking hand that ball off. We had the momentum with the run game.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that should have been a handoff. And, I think he was trying to be coachable. And, the first thing he did is goes to the sideline. He doesn't grab a headset. He literally goes off to himself and then comes out the next drive and has a productive drive. So I feel like Matt said, that was Bryce Young finally making some plays, calling some plays. Yeah, you can send me a set out here, but I'm going to run everything that I'm comfortable with in this set. And like I said from the beginning of the season, personnel issues is the biggest thing on defense. I don't think Pete Golden called such a horrible game. I think we just have somebody in the middle that just can't play football. Not from the Mike linebacker position. You can communicate and do all that great stuff. That's awesome. You can do that on any spot in the field. But to play that middle linebacker, when you got a guy like Jaheim Otis, you got guys like Jamil Barrows and Ken Smith, these guys are clear paths for you to clean plays up in the backfield, and you're never in phase. You're always looking to get you run into blocks that aren't even meant for you. Like you're overplaying plays for no reason. When you got leverage to the outside, all you have to do is contain on the backside, and you're overrunning the play for no reason. You don't have a full concept
every play.
Offense. You don't even know where your help is coming from. So you're overplaying stuff for no reason, So for that reason, I don't see why the staff has not seen that and allowed Lawson to play that mic. And you could spell have Moody playing the wheel. You could play Murphy. I saw Sean Murphy go in when Toto got hurt, and the defense played on a different speed with Murphy out there. So it was one of those things. I'm still questioning the personnel, but Pete Golden, I feel like played. We made Auburn be what they had to be, one-dimensional. They busted a couple early QB runs. You know, Toto literally being out of place. I can't put it on the defensive play calling the whole game, other than the fact that we have yet to make that personnel change with Toto in the middle. And then on the back end, our DBs they started off shaky, but you start to see them every time they got tested in the air. Guys are really turning their heads to track the ball, and I think that's a lot of T-Rod being able to get a little bit more control over the DBs and getting a little bit more range to, you know, getting these guys and coach them like he wants to coach them. Like I really saw a game manager, Coach Saban today. Like I said, I don't know who that was calling the offense. Man, it definitely wasn't Bill. Y'all gonna have to pay me to convince me that was Bill O'Brien calling those plays tonight, because it was looking too smooth. It was too basic, and just it made sense for the most part. So I agree. Man, that's all I had to say, man.
Hey,
once again, enjoying the show, and I appreciate y'all, man. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, brother.
Roll Tide.
You know, that brings up an interesting point. I mean, falls into what you were saying, Matt. You know, Bryce may have taken over the play calling duties, and it's amazing what happens. And I don't think any offense anywhere else can actually remove an offensive coordinator from the equation and be successful. But if Bryce Young did that, it's mind-blowing that you can remove the coordinator from the equation and find success.
That's Tom Brady. That's the Brady effect.
Yeah, I think what it is, you know, I heard some things, you know, earlier today that, you know, maybe everything might not have been on O'Brien. Maybe, you know, Bryce was calling, you know, checking out the plays that were supposed to be run. And I think that kind of showed a couple of games, but I think we finally ironed it out, the issues this week. And we kind of, I think both heads, either Coach Saban came together and was like, listen, we're going to call the plays. You know what to do. This is the game plan. And obviously it worked because it was like a different offense today. We were running the ball, reading the defense, running quick outs. I mean, playing personnel. I mean, we converted a 3rd and 19 with Kendrick Law. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. So, you know, what Coach Smoot was saying, I think we got it. Yeah, wide open Law. I mean, I thought the young guys were very consistent. Law, Bond, you know, those guys really stepped up. You know, Holden had a big play, but, you know, he had a 3rd down later in the third quarter, big drop. You know, he should have caught it. You know, we got to take that next step. But like I said, Coach Smoot said, we've got to get – the defense is where it's at. It's just our linebacker play. Until we move Toto to the outside and put some linebackers in there to read and not get blocked, and get off blocks and stop the run, then the defense actually works. So I mean, that's on the coaches. Golden's gonna have to say, man, look, 10, you throwing us under the bus every play. Like that's the only reason they're scoring points. So you know, that was the biggest issue I noticed.
All right. That being said, you know, if we do get in the playoffs, or more than likely, you know, go to the New Year's Six, do we maybe implement that change? Swap him over to the other position and let someone else who has some sense play middle linebacker?
We're going to have to. We're going to have any success.
Let me ask y'all this. Now, I'm going to ask you this. And Matt knows like I know. They don't spend time teaching you how to adjust. Maybe the boy just don't know what to do. And because they'll give you a play and you got it and you go through it. But I'm wondering are they asking him the right questions? Like, do you know your assignment if this is if they show you this, do you know how to execute? I don't, again, like they want a lot of these guys to come in game ready. So that's my question. Are you not taking time? And why is it taking the 12th game for y'all to iron this sugar honey iced tea out.
Absolutely.
Like, we should have figured this out in April. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen,
this is last year.
Mike.
This ain't the first year.
But Mike, to your point, I'll literally watch the replay of the drives when Auburn was gassing us. Like, he wasn't even reading the play. I saw him. Bigsby runs down the middle and he goes to the left. I'm like, why are you shooting and going to get blocked? Like, wherever you are going, the play is going there. I'm like, it's like he has no eye discipline. Like, his eye was bleeding. He goes out. Then Murphy comes in. Murphy plays well. Then he comes back in the game and starts making a few plays. And I'm like, like something's got to give. There's no way we watch the same film and be like, oh, yeah, man, you played a great game. Like, no, put somebody in there that knows what they're doing.
I don't that's what I'm asking. Does he not know what to do?
He's not even looking at the play. Like, it's right there.
Well, that's the thing, though. He essentially is becoming a liability.
He is.
That's on the field.
I don't know, but they keep putting him on the field. Like, we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
Is the person behind him that bad?
No, he got an email list on all them coaches over there or something. That's all that is.
Did he find a team had an OnlyFans and he don't want to? He wants to keep it hush hush. I mean, what? I don't. This isn't saving ball, because if something's not working, he will stop it right then. At least in the past, he'd stop it right then. Never heard from him again. If it's a player, I don't care how good you are, you're out of here. But now it's just like, do what y'all want. It's cool.
Let me ask y'all this. Now,
thank you for sufficient me for the $2 donation. We appreciate it. Sorry about that, Mike. Go ahead.
Nah, how do y'all feel about the D line play today? I feel like these last 2 weeks we ain't did nothing.
Jaheim Otis, I felt like, was very effective. A lot of times, though, he was being held, and the referees weren't calling it. But as far as across the defensive line as a whole, I haven't seen production like I was seeing against Ole Miss, like from Byron Young, and against LSU, it wasn't there. Yeah, it's been absent. That dominating front's there. Maybe it's because Justin Eboigbe's not there to kind of be that extra piece that kind of brings it all together, because there's been a tremendous drop off from the first half of the season to this half.
I mean, I thought they did. I think they did decent. I think they did decent, but again, if your linebacker is not fitting the gap and reading the plays, then obviously everybody's gonna say, man, the deep front four is not, making plays. Like, I literally watched San Francisco 49ers. I was like, oh, this must be where Pete Golden is getting this cover 2 shell. But what they do, they have Fred Warner at middle linebacker who is causing habit. Like, he's reading plays, making plays. Until we address that inside linebacker, then I think the defense goes, then we start making plays. Because if our linebacker is getting blocked, then that's putting pressure on the safety's got to come up and make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
let me ask you this,
we're missing that level of play on the defensive front seven, in my opinion.
But P-Dub, I'm going to ask you this. Who is his defensive coordinator? And that says it all right there. That's it all.
I know, man. It does, bro. That's the frustrating part.
Carl Pruitt.
Listen, if Hugh Freeze can get back in the SEC, we need to call Pruitt.
He will tomorrow. So absolutely. Listen, we got a caller to take. Let me go ahead and let them in. They've been waiting for 19 minutes. Welcome in live. You're here with Justin, Mike, and Matt. If you would, state your name, where you're calling from, and what you want to talk about. Then hang up and listen so you can hear what Mike and Matt have to say. Hey, but roll tide first and foremost.
Roll tide. This is D-Pass 569 from Columbus, Ohio. How y'all doing today, man?
Hey, it's a great day. We won.
It's a great day to be a Bama fan in Columbus, Ohio today too. It's been awesome. So I got a chance to get a little revenge today for some of the kickback I've been getting on our season. But
hey, how's the atmosphere over there in Columbus after Ohio State got skull drugged?
Oh, I was loving it. It was beautiful.
Sorry to interrupt there. Go ahead, buddy.
No, it's all good. Matt sort of stole my thunder there. I'm just sitting here wondering, what is Bama's adversity to putting a spy on a mobile quarterback? We lost the LSU game because we let Jaden Daniels run all around the field. He's not known for his passing, but man, he ran us to death. Then we come to this game. This kid ain't known for his passing. He ran us to death. I'm like, what is their adversity to putting a spy on the quarterback? And I'm about to say something right now that I know a bunch of Bama fans may or may not agree with. Personally, I don't want to see this Bama team in the playoffs this year. Too unpredictable, too undisciplined. My heart can't take it, man. You know, when I remember when Mike's team made it to the national championship game, I knew we was going to win that game. Just about every time we go in, maybe with the exception of the first year Jalen Hurts took us there against Clemson, I pretty much knew we were going to win. Even when we lost to Clemson with Tua, I was like, we got this. This team, I just don't see it. I don't see it. And it's, for me, if we're not, for me, getting there ain't the objective for Bama. Maybe for Ohio State, maybe for Michigan, but not for Bama. We get there and we win. So I would rather them not make it this year, regroup, come back next year, see what we got. I think we got a good shot next year, all depending on who their starting quarterback is. But this year, I'd rather not see it. That's just me. I know a lot of people ain't gonna like that, but that's just how I feel about it. So,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
But I want to throw that out there.
Oh, definitely, man. If you would hang up and listen, and we'll definitely touch on that because you raised a very good point. But we do appreciate the call. Roll Tide, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he brings up an interesting point. Is this an Alabama team that we want to see in the playoffs? You know, Mike, you said earlier that you felt like if we did indeed make it, then all of a sudden we have legit reason to play, and we turn on that Bama switch. But guys, truthfully, is this a team we do want to see based on what we've seen collectively this entire season?
Well, well, I'll meet address Richard G. That is pretty funny. He said, I'll send the crew to McDonald's back. That's pretty funny. But honestly, man, I think if they get a chance to if they go to the playoffs, Bama's going to be a hard team to lose to because I feel like they'll get it together for those games, man. You know, they show up for the big games. And that's – I don't know, man. I beg to differ. I think if they get in there, man, they'll win it. I think they'll run the table if they get in there. They'll get in there and run the table.
I agree because you look at – it's one team Georgia does not want to play, and we know who that is because everything's going to be a revenge factor. And B, you get Bama to get healthy, fresh, 2-3 weeks of game plan for an opponent. I mean, you get them in the playoff. The objective should be to win. So I think if we get in and get a little creative, really focus on ourselves and we can't mess up. Like it's sudden death. I think we have that attitude. I think Alabama is a draw that nobody in America still does not want to play. Like, if I'm a Georgia or a TCU or Michigan, I do not want to draw the stick and have to play Alabama. I'm sorry. Like, let's just be honest. I would rather have to play anybody else but Alabama. Because at the end of the day, if Alabama gets there, together, it is
trouble.
It could be trouble for you. So that's just my 2 cents.
Real quick, Mike, Cool Man Jack said, "I'll buy you and your wife some tickets next time y'all come to speak."
Oh man, they're gonna have to put a price tag on that, man. The pricing went up, man.
The price went up. You got some interest.
I got the interest. I got 3 shows going. No, you're gonna have to charge. I'm gonna charge them next time. But I appreciate it. Take me and my old lady to dinner, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, I think the only team that really gives us a problem would maybe be a TCU because of their offense, and they have a legit coordinator who can out scheme not Bill O'Brien, but Pete Golding all day long. I think we'd have a hard time stopping that, especially with the way Henry To'oTo'o is playing. I think if we played Georgia head-to-head, like you said, revenge factor kicks in, and all of a sudden we're back to playing what we should have been playing for the entire season, and that's to avenge what happened this past year. But I think TCU would be a tough draw. But as far as anybody else goes, yeah, I think if we are Bama, we are playing Bama ball. Yeah, we win that thing.
Yeah.
Let's see, Pork Ryan says, y'all need to step back from that delusion. Why would Bama get in over a 2-loss team that beat them, Tennessee? Why would they get in over a 1-loss team, Ohio State? Come back to reality. Okay, first of all, we're just kind of talking about what ifs. Yeah, chaos.
Well, Tennessee's not going. Tennessee's behind us.
Let me tell you why
Ohio State.
Let me tell you why we get in over Tennessee, because we didn't get absolutely decimated by an unranked team.
Yeah.
That's a big reason why we get in over Tennessee.
And he forgetting this. These Bama folks got some money, man. They travel. Let me tell you
exactly. It's all about this at the end of the day.
It's all about money at the end of the day, man. They don't care nothing. These folks who running the show, they don't care nothing about it as long as their pockets are swollen. You feel me?
So,
and they know Bama gonna show up.
And a 1-loss Ohio State, one thing you can't do is lose late. And that's Ohio State's problem. If you're going to lose, you kind of have to lose earlier in the season, kind of mid of the season. And they weren't, let's be honest, Michigan went into the shoe and took their living soul. So, I mean,
without
if it was a close game, then okay. But they beat the living dogs out of them.
Without Blake Corum.
You can't lose late, in my opinion. So
you can lose.
It's going to be kind of interesting, especially if USC loses. Clemson's already lost. We're number 7. Who else needs to lose? LSU,
TCU.
They'll probably, they'll lose in the next couple of weeks. So.
It's a lot
we're
that
right
has
there.
to happen for us to go. It's a lot that has to happen for us to go. But we talking about what if we get in there, bro, Bama gonna pull it out. I feel like Bama gonna pull it out.
Yeah.
They get in there, they're gonna pull it out. They the dark horse of the crew. They are the dark horse. Nobody wants to play them, man, because like what Matt said earlier, if Bama is clicking on all cylinders and them boys are locked in, bro, and you give Coach Saban 3 weeks to prepare for anything, bro.
And we get healthy. Shoot.
And we put To'oTo'o in the sideline. No.
Oh man, that'd be even better.
Gary Farmer, what do you want to see more? Bill O'Brien fired or Bama making the playoffs?
Oh man, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Why you gonna ask that question, bro? Come on, man. Bye, Bob.
I want to see Bama in the playoffs. I'm sorry.
Bye, Bob.
Well, he's headed to Georgia Tech, replacing Brent Key, which I kind of think that they should give him an open shot at applying for that job, because he's actually turned that team around somewhat. So give him a shot. Kind of like with Cadillac, man. This man has bled for you guys. He is a legend on that campus. He did things for you that you can never pay back. So why don't you award him the same favor, and don't give him a pity interview. Give him a legitimate shot at this thing. Yeah,
they ain't gonna do it, man.
Nope, and I'm sure we'll hear Hugh Freeze's name announced tomorrow as the coach. But I will tell you one thing, guys. I'm sure you followed on Twitter. The whole Lane Kiffin to Auburn thing has been comedic gold.
Oh yeah, without
seeing him go back and forth with all these reporters with their sources saying that he was going to be the next coach there.
Lane is a genius, man. I feel like he's a typical frat boy. Just come from money, man. He gonna say what he want to say, do what he want to do, man. But he's a mastermind, though. I love him. I'd be glad to play for him.
Oh, no doubt. And speaking of Brent Key earlier, one of the things that was talked about during the game, which kind of resonated to what we used to do, was as soon as he became the interim head coach, he appointed a team leader, a collective to kind of get the team in the right direction, a leadership council. And that automatically think, okay, he got that from being under Coach Saban. So why can't we implement that into what we're doing? Because it kind of feels like we don't have that leadership council that can kind of get things in the right direction.
Well, we used to, man.
Yeah, we used
like
to.
You said, yeah. I think we used to, those guys. That's one thing about it. That peer group, man, used to hate going before them. That's the worst thing that can happen back in the day, because you used to get held accountable, and when you got your best players, also the hardest workers on the team, man. I mean, bro, you ain't got no choice but to get them. You ain't got no choice but to get along and go along. So. And these boys don't fight no more. It ain't no, they going to tell on you. You get in trouble, y'all fighting in the locker room, man. So, again, man, it's a lot of feminine guys on that team, man. So, I know I use that word. It may be toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. You're shaming, Mike.
Yeah. You hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I think they got their little feelings hurt when Bo went down there. But it's kind of funny is when Bo went down there, two things disappeared for 1 week. That was the mouthpieces and the Instagram posting. Man, as soon as that week was over, the mouthpieces were back in full force, and every day there was about 3 or 4 posts per player just jumping up. I say, did y'all not listen to a single word this man said?
Man, again, microwave, man. These kids got microwave mindsets, man. I was reading a marketing book, and they basically saying, doggone it, a goldfish has a longer attention span than most humans nowadays. I'm with Travis B. He said, Bama, these Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm telling y'all, hey, I'm with you, Trav. That's the best receiver in college football right now.
Oh, hands down.
He just like his dad. He cold.
And that kind of leads me to a question, though. Do we go back to the portal and be portal heavy again? Because
I don't think
this year it just didn't seem to work, man. I mean, last year we struck gold with Jameson, and then the year before or 2 years before, Landon Dickerson. But those guys were the exception and not the rule. And not everybody's going to buy in. So do we go that route? Georgia's not. And I kind of feel like that's why they're having success right now, is because they have those Georgia guys there that understand the culture and who are going to do what it takes, and not just look at it as a business transaction.
Well, I think the difference between a portal and a high school kid is you get a chance to know the kid's family. Like It is organic. It's not rushed. It is. Because, anytime you're recruiting, you're not only bringing it on the kids, you're bringing on his family, too. So, man, Gary Farber is hilarious. He is hilarious.
And it's funny, man. I've actually been speaking to a few of these parents here off screen, and they have been listening to what you said and what Bo has said and Marvin and a few of the other guys. And they have actually asked, hey, if you want them to speak to our kid, we'll gladly give them your number.
Man.
So you got the parents who, like you said, who are in their ground zero and who understand what it means. And they're buying into what you're saying and what the legends are saying, but the kids aren't. So, yeah, having the parents on board is a very huge piece to this.
Well, I think the difference is between the kids. I think, what Bo said is a powerful message, but it's out of sight, out of mind. You're not here every day. It's not I don't see enough consistency of you. So again, that's why I'm like, Coach Saban needs to figure something out. Like, again, think about what you just said earlier prior to we getting on the show. They wouldn't even let Upshaw on the sideline.
Or Trent Richardson. Or Bo.
Or Trent. Come on, man. These are guys that you handpicked. You sat in these folks' living room. These guys love the program. Not going to speak ill of it. No, they're going to be there. They're going to ride or die for you. And these kids can look them up. You can Google these guys. These ain't just no
sure can.
Pools. Again, they've been where you trying to go. So I think if they get on ground level with these guys instead of just bringing them in one time, but hey, man, you getting these guys involved heavily, bro, that'll change the trajectory of the program. Why don't you have Antonio Langham there? Like, bro, some old heads like that. I mean, not to just beat it in you, but most of these guys are down to earth. They just like your uncles. They like your older brothers. We ain't too far removed from just having on a uniform ourselves. So,
and they're going to connect with you guys because you're closer to their age. I mean, not Langham, but but they're going to connect with the guys who have done it. Yes, a lot of these coaches definitely have the pedigree, but hearing it from the guys who did it on the field that they can Google, they can look up on Wikipedia, whatever outlet it is, it means something more.
Without question.
But welcome back, Matt. But listen, it's time for us to pick our yard dogs and lap dogs. It's our favorite part of the program. I'm going to go ahead and let Matt start since he's been absent for a minute. Who are your lap dogs and your yard dogs in this game?
My yard dogs, dang. I'm going to go with Bryce. You know, I thought Bryce did a really good game. And Dallas Turner. I thought Dallas Turner made a lot of good plays out there when his number was called. And my lap dogs, I mean, I've been talking about them, 10. You know, I'm watching the game, and I'm like, man, if that was Reuben Foster would have 30 tackles by now, and they would not be running that play. So, you know, that's my lap dogs, and that's my yard dogs. So, Toto gets my lap dog.
All right, Mike, who are your lap dogs and who are your yard dogs today?
My yard dogs, give me Ja'Cory Brooks. I think he stepped up tremendously. I thought Law had that tremendous catch to keep them chains moving. Bryce, of course, on defense. Branch, man. He's the heart of their defense outside of Will Anderson. And, you know, my lap dogs, man, come on, man. The coordinators on both sides, bro. And number 10. Hey, we know that's understood. I ain't got to be explained.
I understand.
And
I got
my
you.
phone is about to literally die, so I'm going to talk long as I can. My phone about to die, guys.
All right. Well, what I'll do is I'm going to take one more call, and then we'll close up shop, and then we'll be back for either the bowl game or the playoff. We'll see. You're calling in live to the TDA Post Game Show with Mike, Matt, and Justin. Tell us who you are, where you're calling from, what you want to talk about, then hop off and listen so the guys can tell you their thoughts.
Hey, how you doing? It's Uncle Charles from Birmingham.
What's going on, Uncle Charles?
Man, what's happening, man? Just glad to get that Iron Bowl win. Man, let me tell you something. Man, I was getting nervous. It wasn't looking too good. Man, I said, man, and then I went in there and checked my blood pressure, and it started to go up. I said, I better calm down because we don't need nothing to happen after this game. So I went on in there and sat down, and I said, I know we're going to do it. I know we're going to win. And, man, that's the best thing for us, man. It's the best thing for the Alabama nation. Let me just say this, fellas. Let me tell you something. If these guys want to come down there, Bo Scarborough, I wouldn't care if they brought some guys in there from the 40s. If he's still alive, let them come on in there and help them young men. Because let me tell you something, man. You got all this new school stuff, but it ain't nothing like the old school. Yeah. You know, you get a cold nowadays, and all of a sudden you use Theraflu. But that ain't going to do it make you sick. But if you go ahead and get some Father John's or some 666, that's the devil in the bottle. It will get rid of that cold. Bring them men on down there. Bring them young men down there. Let them teach them young players down there how to be a great student and a great athlete. It's nothing wrong with that. Don't get so snobbish now to the point where you can't bring back Alabama great. And let me tell you something. Bo Scarborough is one of the elites, and he brought us a championship. How you like that, Birmingham? We world champs, and they both came down there and made that possible. This is why he's a great athlete, a great man, and he will be perfect for those young men to learn from. Alabama, know this. We're still in this thing. And even if we don't get in the playoffs, I think we had a great year. Yeah, I know. Some Saturdays, it looked like a horror movie. And I'll be the first one to say I don't like horror movies. But I was watching one 2 weeks ago. So Let's keep on pushing Alabama Nation. We're Alabama family. And let me tell you something. Don't nobody come on our turf and tell us anything. See, the South is the South. We run football. We run college football, and Alabama is elite, and we're steady elite. And that's all I got to say. Appreciate y'all.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Uncle Charles. Thanks for calling in. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Hey.
Yeah. I like what he said. You got to get old school, man. We need to do some old school hidden drills and just tackle at practice.
I think we need to go. What's that? The Junction Boys on, to be honest with you.
Please do. That'll help our defense. If we can just get more physical.
I think we need to take them some remote location, and bring back the Junction Boys or some of this Navy SEAL training, and don't say a word or tell where they're located. Just send them off and let them come back as men. Well, listen, hey, Matt, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to close up shop. That'll do it for us here. And hey, don't care how it's gotten done, but we won 49-27. We're state champs. Oh, we're three straight. Well, that'll do it for us. Roll Tide, everybody.